welcome back to my channel. My name's Destiny. I do book things here. I do all kinds of things here actually. But today we're doing book things. So today we're going to go over and I'm going to tell you about Buzzwordathon for this year and how it went. And then I'm going to tell you about Buzzwordathon for next year and tell you the prompts and all that good stuff. I'm not going to do my TBR for it because usually I just read what I want to read and make my TBRs each month. And then if something fits into Buzzword, I just add it in. With this Buzzword, with this kind of readathon, it used to be like a couple weeks out of a month that was running, and it was hosted by Kayla at Books and Lala, but now she decided to turn it into a year-long, and usually it's one prompt per month. That's not how I do it. I think it's too much pressure to try to fit in a certain book within a month, but I just try to make my year-long TBR, my year-long reads fit into this. And after reading 99 books this year, I did complete it, so I thought we'd go over it. The first prompt for this year was the 5 W's, so who, when, where, and why. And for that, I read Where the Drowned Girls Go by, I want to say Shauna McGuire. I'm going to put it by my head, whichever side has the most room. Editing Destiny. We'll get to that. This was the latest release in the Wayward Children series, which I absolutely loved. I binged through that entire series this year. It has to be one of my top of the year. I actually just read Into the Drying Deep. I just finished it and I loved it too. So I would love to say that Shauna McGuire is definitely a hit author for me, but we will see. The next one was a pronoun. So he, she, them, her, he, his. I want to say his is a pronoun. Don't quote me on that. But for that one, I read Then She Was Gone. It was a thriller. I enjoyed it. I did not see the twist. It was a really good twist I didn't see coming. I thoroughly enjoyed that one. The next was a location. And for that one, I reread The Night Circus this year, which honestly, I didn't remember the ending until I reread it. But it was really good. I ended up giving it 5 stars. It was wonderful. The next was Little or Big. And for that one, I just recently finished The Little Book of Hygge, which I loved. It was very educational and informative. But I had been struggling to find a book with a little or big in the title. And I just happened to be reading The Little Book of Hygge, and it didn't hit me till I was almost done with it. That counts for that prompt. Next was a direction. So for that one, like up, down, east, west, that kind of thing. For that one, I read Down Among the Sticks and Bones. That is one of the Wayward Children. I think it's number 2. Don't quote me on that. I believe it's the second one in the series. That series, I do want to say that they are really standalones. They all follow a school where these children have gone through these doorways into these fantastical worlds, and their fantastical worlds no longer wanted them and put them back into the real world, and now they're going to school to try to bide their time until their world opens back up to them, and these are their stories and what happened to them. The first one is every heart a doorway. There we are. And it follows a girl who just recently gets to the school and starts learning about the school, and she a murder happens and they're trying to figure out who committed the murder. The next was the word all. This is another one I found really hard to complete, and I don't know why, but this month I read All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover, and I surprisingly actually enjoyed it. I did not think I was going to, but I did. So there's that. And the next was a book-related word. So for that one, I read Murder at the Book Club. I gave this 2 stars. It was not my favorite. I found it very cliche and just not very well written in my opinion, but I did get that one done. Next was an item or an object, and for that one I read the Book of Cold Cases. That I gave, I want to say 4 stars. It was really, really good. That one follows a reporter who she gets the interview of a lifetime when a murderess from the 70s offers her an exclusive interview to find out everything that happened. She did not go to jail. She was acquitted. They never could prove that she murdered these two men on the side of the road. And it has haunted house vibes, true crime vibes, and yeah, those are the two I say really big: haunted house and true crime. Definitely recommend. Next is Light or Dark, and for that I read Dream Dark, which is the novella that accompanies the what do they call it? The Beautiful Creature series. I loved that series, and especially the audiobook. It was one of my favorite. I'm from Texas, so I'm from the South, and the story I want to say takes place in like Georgia or South Carolina, but the whole audiobook, every character in the audiobook obviously has a thick Southern accent, and it just sounds like walking into home to me. Ethan's aunts are my aunts, some of them, and his, I can't think of her name. It's on the tip of my tongue. Alma? Is it Alma? I think it's Alma. The lady who takes care of him. It sounds like my grandmother, and every black grandmother I've ever met. I absolutely loved it. So that series I did read, that novella. Next was an animal or a creature or animal, and for that I read Serpent and Dove, and I think I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely love Serpent and Dove, but I did not care for Blood and Honey. We're not going to get into it, but I did read Serpent and Dove. If you don't know anything about that, it follows a witch hunter who ends up marrying a witch without knowing it. Lou knows that she's a witch, obviously, and that he's a witch hunter, but her thought is, where do you hide? Where the perfect place to hide is right up under their noses, and so she ends up moving into the monastery and marrying him after they have a run-in together, and shit starts happening. Next is the word ing, and for that I read Finding Me by Viola Davis, her memoir. I absolutely loved it. I don't read very many memoirs. I've read 2 this year, which is the first 2 I've ever read, and I love them both. So I may like memoirs. I'm hoping to pick up a 3rd one before I say yay or nay on it, but I did enjoy those 2. Viola went through some shit in her life, and I have always loved her, and every acting thing she has done, I've loved her, and honestly, just seeing where she comes from makes me love her even more. And watching How to Get Away with Murder after her husband dies, she seems so raw and real, and once you read her memoir you realize that she really was raw and real in that moment. It was amazing. The last one was a number, and for that I read Gideon the Ninth, and I absolutely loved it. And yes, I'm planning on continuing with the series whenever my script lets me. I will be reading Harrow the Ninth. Somebody could have warned me about the ending. I just want to say, somebody could have warned me about the ending. So, there's all 12 I've read for Buzzword this year. I actually completed it on December the 6th. I wrote it down because I wanted to see how quickly I could complete one. So, next year's. I thought I would, we're going to go through the prompts, and honestly, guys, this list is going to be a little harder for me personally to complete. I have a couple I know I could do, and some of them are going to be really, really easy for me, but there's one in particular, when we get there, I'm going to tell you, it's just going to be hard for me to complete. But, so, the first is life or death, and I will link Kayla's video below. She was very specific that it needs to be the word life or the word death. could be related to life or death, but she's really looking for those two. She's not placing the readathon. It's not like if you go in and do lives, LIVES, she's going to come and tell you that doesn't count. Like, that's not going to happen, but she was very specific. And I would like to read the 7.5 Lives of Evelyn Hardcastle. I've heard so many great things, and I really want to get it read. I just haven't had a chance to get my hands on it. The next one is Verbs. Last year we did have ing, but this time this could include run. It could include jump, like, you know, just verbs altogether. The next one is secret. The word secret or secretly, like secret. Next one is emotion. So happy, sad, rage, any emotion. Next, now this is the hard one for me. This one I think I'm going to have to do some searching to find, because I don't think I have anything on my shelves behind me that could fit this, and that is flavor, seasonings, or herbs. So not a food, so not like donut, but more like garlic as a flavor, or cookie as a flavor. Because cookie could be a food or a flavor. Do you see what I'm saying there? Next is other, the word other. So like the other woman, the other wife. Yeah, I'm probably going to read a thriller for that one, and I will probably end up in the library for that. Next is weather-related words, so sunny, raining, sleet, snow, things like that. Next is body parts. For that one, I think if I don't get to it before the end of the year, it might be the first one I cross off, because I really want to read My Heart is a Chainsaw. And I had started the audiobook. It was kind of confusing for me, and I think it's just Stephen Graham Jones writing, because I also started listening to The Last Final Girl, and it has the same kind of over-the-top writing as My Heart is a Chainsaw, so I think it's just his writing, and hopefully I can get it read. Next is game-related words. Again, I'll leave her video below, but I want to say it's like, I don't remember exactly. She said, like, she gave examples. I'll link her video below, but game-related words, I'm probably going to rewatch her video for that one to figure out exactly what she's looking for. Next is magic and magic-related words. And I think for that one, I kind of want to try to get my hands on Practical Magic, the audiobook, and read it. Next is the word good. For this one, I don't have anything I want to read, but I do highly recommend The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter. I absolutely loved it. Did not see the ending coming. It is a really, really good thriller, and it does have good in the title. And then lastly is sound-related words. So snap, crackle, pop. I don't know why that's what come to mind first, but that's what came to mind. Quiet, music, anything like that counts. That one may be another hard one, but we will definitely see. So yeah, I just wanted to go over my buzzword, what I was thinking about reading for those prompts, what I was able to get done in the last year. I am really surprised I was able to finish this one, but I'm really proud that I was able to. Yeah, so let me know what you plan on reading for some of these prompts below. Leave me recommendations so maybe I can cross them up sooner than rather than later. And I'll catch you on my next one. Bye, guys.